In this session, the topic is actually the blood supply to the central nervous system. But in this session, I will be talking about the vertebral artery, vertebrobasilar system, its course and branches, and then about the blood supply of spinal cord, because it is from the vertebral artery. Now, when we talk about, these are the learning objectives under blood supply of brain, but we will be covering only this much part today. When we talk about the vertebral artery is a branch of first part of the from the first part of the subclavian artery. It originates at the level of disc between T3 and T4 vertebra, and it ascends up to C6 vertebra. It enters into the foramen transoceum of C6 vertebra. So up to C6 vertebra from its site of origin is the first part, or it is called cervical part. Then it passes through the foramen transoceum of C6 to C1 vertebra. So that part is called second part, or the vertebral part. Now the third part is the one which is lying in the suboccipital triangle. So it is called third part or suboccipital part. It arches over after coming out, emerging out from the foramen transoceum of C1 vertebra. It arches of the posterior arch of the atlas, and then it pierces the posterior atlanto-occipital membrane, enters into the foramen magnum. That is how it enters into the cranial cavity. So the fourth part is the cerebral part, which that is the part which lies in the cranial cavity or posterior cranial fossa. It pierces while entering through the foramen magnum. It pierces the dura and subarachnoid matter, so it enters into the subarachnoid space, and this part lies over the anterolateral aspect of the medulla oblongata. And at the upper border of the medulla oblongata, the right and left vertebral arteries join to form the basilar artery. So that is the entire course of the vertebral artery. Now this is showing the third part of the vertebral artery, that is the suboccipital part. It pierces after emerging out from this is a C1 vertebra. After emerging out from the foramen transoceum of C1 vertebra, it pierces the posterior atlanto-occipital membrane, enters through the foramen magnum into the posterior cranial fossa. Now this is the vertebral artery. After joining together at the upper border of the medulla, it forms the basilar artery. Basilar artery terminates at the upper border of the pons. So origin is from the first part of the subclavian artery at the level of disc between T3 and T4. It has four parts, as we have discussed. First part is the cervical part, from the origin to the foramen transoceum of C6 vertebra. Second part, or otherwise it is called vertebral part, it passes through the foramen transoceum of C6 to C1 vertebra. Now the third part is the suboccipital part. It passes from the C1 to foramen magnum. So that much part is a small part, short part. That much part is the suboccipital part or third part. Fourth part is the cerebral part, which lies in the cranial cavity, posterior cranial fossa. It extends from the lower end of the medulla to upper end of the medulla, that is pontomedullary junction. The branches of vertebral artery. Now the branches are mainly to the supplying the spinal cord, as well as one artery which is supplying the cerebellum, that is the posterior inferior cerebellar artery. Now this is the anterior spinal artery, one from each side, and then it joins together forming the single trunk, and it descends along the anterior median fissure. There is posterior inferior cerebellar artery. The posterior spinal artery may arise from the posterior inferior cerebellar artery or directly from the vertebral artery. So the branches are segmental branches which supplies the cervical segments of the spinal cord. Then there is anterior spinal artery, one from each side but joins to form the single trunk and descends along the anterior median fissure. It supplies the median zone of the medulla oblongata. So occlusion of this artery can result in medial medullary syndrome. Now the posterior spinal arteries, two in number, it may arise from the vertebral artery or posterior inferior cerebellar artery. Descends along the anterior and posterior aspect of the dorsal root of the spinal nerve. It also supplies the posterior part of, other than the spinal cord, it also supplies the posterior part of the medulla oblongata. Now the posterior inferior cerebellar artery is the largest branch arising at the lower level of the lower end of the olive. It passes postero-inferiorly and then divides into medial and lateral branches and supply the cerebellum, lateral zone of the medulla oblongata, and in case of occlusion of this artery can lead to Wallenberg syndrome. Now it also gives out choroid plexus of fourth ventricle. So these are the branches of vertebral artery. Now we will see these are the same branches which supply the spinal cord. So we will see the blood supply of spinal cord. The spinal cord is supplied by, it's mainly three sources. One is the segmental arteries here. Then we have the anterior spinal artery. Then we have the posterior spinal arteries. Now the anterior spinal artery arises from the vertebral artery and it descends down along the anterior median fissure. Now this artery at different levels are reinforced by deep cervical segmental branches from the deep cervical, ascending cervical, intercostal in the thoracic region, and lower part it is from the lumbar artery. So these arteries are giving out segmental branches which will reinforce the blood supply of the anterior spinal artery. Same segmental arteries are forming the posterior radicular artery. Here it forms the anterior radicular arteries. And posterior aspect, it forms posterior radicular arteries. Same way the deep cervical, ascending cervical, this intercostal and lumbar arteries are giving out the posterior radicular arteries. Now the posterior spinal artery, as I said, two in number, it descends along the, it passes along the anterior and posterior aspect of the dorsal root of the spinal artery, spinal nerve, dorsal root of the spinal nerve. So this is a segmental artery which enters through the intervertebral foramen, divides into anterior radicular and posterior radicular, along with the posterior spinal arteries and anterior spinal artery. Anterior spinal artery lies in the median fissure, anterior median fissure. This is the dorsal root. So anterior to it and posterior to it is the posterior spinal artery. Now these arteries are giving branches which supply the spinal cord and it forms encircle the spinal cord. So it is called arteria vasa corona. The branches are segmental artery. From that anterior radicular, posterior radicular arteries are coming. Then there is posterior spinal artery, two in number, and then there is anterior spinal artery. So these are the branches which supply the spinal cord. Now the venous drainage of spinal cord, there are longitudinal venous channels. These are one in the posterior median sulcus and one in the posterolateral sulcus, one in the anterior median fissure and anterolateral sulcus. Now these veins also form by the small venules which are present over the entire part of the circumference of the spinal cord. So it is called venous vasa corona. These veins drain into the segmental veins. Segmental veins in turn will drain into, at different levels, it will drains into the segmental veins, and ultimately it drains into the vena cava or the esophagus system. So spinal cord arterial supply, anterior spinal artery, segmental branches from deep cervical, ascending cervical, posterior intercostal and lumbar arteries. The venous drainage, anterior median longitudinal vein in the anterior median fissure, posterior one in the posterior median sulcus, anterolateral longitudinal vein in anterolateral sulcus, and posterior longitudinal vein in posterolateral sulcus. Communicates with internal vertebral venous plexus as well as the basilar venous plexus. Drains into caval and esophagus vein. So this is about the venous drainage of spinal cord. Now the basilar artery. Basilar artery formed by the joining of right and left vertebral artery at the lower end of the pons, and at the upper end of the pons it divides into its terminal branches. The terminal branches are the posterior right and left posterior cerebral artery. Now the branches of basilar artery, the anterior inferior cerebellar artery, there is labyrinthine artery. It is a slender and long artery which enters into the internal acoustic meatus along with the 7th and 8th cranial nerve, and it supplies the internal ear. Numerous pondine branches from the ventral and lateral side of the basilar artery. There is superior cerebellar artery, and then the terminal branches posterior cerebral artery. Now this is the anterior inferior cerebellar artery. Anterior inferior cerebellar artery passes posterolaterally, and it supplies the anterolateral aspect of the inferior surface of the cerebellum. There is labyrinthine artery. It enters into the internal acoustic meatus, and numerous pondine branches, and then superior cerebellar artery. Now the superior cerebellar artery passes posteriorly over to the superior surface of the cerebellum, and then there is a posterior cerebral artery. Now the branches, as I said, anterior inferior cerebellar artery, it supplies the anterior part of the inferior surface of the cerebellum. Labyrinthine artery, it enters into the internal acoustic meatus and supply internal ear. Then there are pondine branches, it supplies the pons. Superior cerebellar artery, from the upper part it supplies pons, superior surface of the cerebellum, and also the midbrain. Now the terminal branches, that is the posterior cerebral artery. Posterior cerebral artery is the terminal branch of the basilar artery at the upper border of the pons, and it has two types of branches, cortical branches and central branches. Cortical branches are the branches which supply the cortical areas of the cerebrum, and central branches which goes inside and deep into the cerebrum and supply the deep structures and the subcortical nuclei. Now this cortical branches of posterior cerebral artery, it divides into a medial branch and a lateral branch. This is the lateral branch, and this is the medial branch. Lateral branch and medial branch. Now this lateral branch will divide into anterior temporal, posterior temporal and occipitotemporal. The medial branch will divide into calcarine, parieto-occipital and callosal. So this is the medial branch, parieto-occipital and calcarine. So it is over the medial surface of the occipital lobe, and the sensory cortex is coming in this area. Visual cortex is coming in this area, cuneus and precuneus, The medial branch, lateral branch, anterior temporal, posterior temporal, and there is occipitotemporal branch. This is the medial branch, calcarine and parieto-occipital. And this is the territory of the posterior cerebral artery on the medial side. So that is about the cortical branches. Now the central branches. Central branches, mainly the thalamo-geniculate artery and thalamo-perforating artery, which pierces the posterior perforating substance and enter into the deeper structures and supply the thalamus, hypothalamus and the globus pallidus. Also it supply the geniculate bodies here, and there are posterior choroidal branches also. It supply choroid plexus of lateral and third ventricle. So that is about the posterior cerebral artery. So posterior cerebral artery has two types of branches, central branches and cortical branches. Now central branches, as I said, it passes through the posterior perforating substance and enters into the deeper structures, supply the thalamus, hypothalamus, globus pallidus, the geniculate bodies, and also it gives out choroid plexus which enter into the lateral and third ventricle. Now this cortical branches, medial and lateral are there. Medial is going to the medial surface and lateral is coming to the inferior surface of the occipital and temporal lobe. So it has anterior temporal, posterior temporal and occipitotemporal. Medial branch over the medial surface towards the visual sensory area, that is cuneus and precuneus gyrae. The branches are parieto-occipital and calcarine. The sulcus similar name. So that is all about the vertebral artery and basal artery. Thank you.